He didn't stay for dinner, didn't take tea, didn't perform a single pleasantry beyond the minimum required by basic diplomacy. He simply turned and walked back out of the hall, like a man who had confirmed a business arrangement and had better things to attend to. Her father exhaled with audible relief. Her brothers stared. Serafina stood very still in the middle of the great hall, her practiced smile fading slowly, and thought, 14 days. 14 days until she was delivered. To a Fey Lord who looked at her, like a problem he hadn't decided how to solve yet. 14 days until she left everything she had ever known and stepped into a thorn-ringed estate with a cursed reputation and a cold-eyed master. She pressed her hands together, felt the faint tremble she hadn't allowed anyone to see, breathed through it until it stopped. The fortnight passed the way all dreaded things do, both too slowly and far too fast. Serafina spent the first week pretending she wasn't afraid. She rode every morning until her legs ached and her mind went quiet. She sat through dinners where her father talked too much and her mother said too little. She pulled every book from the manor library that mentioned the Fae, old texts, dry histories, folk tales with the kind of endings that offered no comfort, and she read them all by candlelight until her eyes burned and the candles guttered out. She learned 3 things. The first was that the Fae could not lie. Not directly. They bent truth like light through glass, shaped it, colored it, aimed it like a weapon, but a flat falsehood was written out of their nature like a law of physics. It was both reassuring and deeply unsettling, because it meant that everything Caspian Vale said to her would be true in some form. The question would always be which form. The second was that Fey Lords of his standing did not make political marriages out of generosity. There was always something wanted, always something gained. Whatever her father believed he had negotiated, there was another layer beneath it, a reason that had nothing to do with Caldwell debts or crumbling estates. The third thing she learned was the one that stayed with her longest, turning over and over in her mind like a stone she couldn't stop touching. Thornmere had not had a living mistress in 11 years. The last one had been mentioned only briefly in one crumbling volume, a woman named Isolde, human, young, described in 3 sparse lines before the entry simply ended, as if the author had thought better of continuing. As if some things were better, left in the margin where the candlelight didn't quite reach. Serafina closed that book and did not open it again. But she did not stop thinking about Isolde, about what 3 sparse lines meant, about what they didn't say.